Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Lillith Lodge Yaps. Today we're going to be talking about filming sessions with an escort. This is a service that I offer and I have had a few questions lately regarding it. I want to kind of do a bit of a deep dive into it, discuss it, nerves, that kind of thing, how it works. I think with most things in life, if we understand how it's going to go down, it's a lot less nerve-wracking. And this morning, actually, as of filming this, I don't know when it will be posted, but this morning I had somebody reach out to me for a booking and mentioned filming, and that's why I feel so motivated to do this video today. So let's get into it, okay? Every worker is going to be different, so I want you to keep that in mind before watching this video, because this video is going to be specifically about my filming and how I do it. There are workers out there who will allow you to film but without their face in. They might have different rules about stuff like that. You can only film POV. You might only be able to film 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Maybe their conditions of filming are that it's posted to their OnlyFans or to a porn site. Or maybe they have to have met you a certain amount of times to be able to film. There are so many terms and conditions that could be a part of their filming experience. So I want you to keep that in mind, because how I run things is just how I run things. That's what we're going to discuss today. So when it comes to filming, the filming that I do in my bookings is what I call personal use only. By personal use only, I mean that it is not to be sold or redistributed. So I have a lot of people reach out to me asking if I will film because they want to sell it on their OnlyFans. They want to pay me as if it's a booking, like an escort booking, but film it and sell it on OnlyFans, or film it and post it on Pornhub, that sort of thing. And this is not something that I do. And actually the number of providers that will do something like this where you are profiting on their content, as far as I know, is pretty low. They would exist if you hunt around enough, but just know that that's not really something that's common within the industry, okay? Now, for the personal use only, I mean that it's for them, it's filmed on their device. They do all the editing of the final tape themselves. They put it all together and turn it into a nice production, a nice finished piece of porn, and they are watching it themselves. It's stored on their laptop, their devices, stored on a CD, whatever they want to do with it, but it is for their use, their consumption. And with that, I think, you know, it would be fine for like their friends to watch it. Or let's say their girlfriend was into like cucking and she wanted to watch the tape, that kind of thing. That would all be perfectly fine under what I consider personal use, okay? Even a small group of friends watching it, if you're the one holding that piece of content and you're the one playing it, they don't have an actual copy of it, then you're not distributing that content. Like let's say you put it on your TV and you and your two best mates watched it. To me, I would consider that personal use, okay? But if you went and gave them a copy of that and now they could go and post it anywhere, that's where I think it becomes a little bit blurred. My main concern with the content is that it is not to be published or profited on. Even if you're not making money on it, if you were to go and post it on, say, Twitter, you're not getting paid for it, but you don't have my consent to publish the content. And there are quite strict laws surrounding porn and the distribution of pornography in Australia. And just so that we're all on the same page, you can actually be charged for doing something like this. And they are quite serious charges, and sometimes even jail time for revenge porn, unconsensual distribution of porn. And you're welcome to have a look into that. I won't go into all that legal stuff in this video. Now, I hope we've got that part down packed. Why would somebody want to film it? A lot of the clients that I've had film their sessions are actually mining or work jobs that, you know, they travel a lot for work. It makes it a little bit harder for them to be able to do things like booking escorts on a regular basis. They may not have a lot of opportunities to be around women in general, and this way they can sort of have this souvenir they hold on to and they can play it whenever they want and come back to it. For a lot of guys too, it is this fantasy of like being a porn star, but they don't actually want the I guess the stigma and what results from being a porn star, and you know how that can completely ruin and uproot your entire life. They can play out that fantasy a little bit rewatching their video. Maybe they've never had a partner that was open to filming and it's just something that they want to do. All in all, I am very comfortable doing this service and I'm paid very generously for it. My rate to do so is quite high. Now, something that I have seen asked before, and I'm going to address that, if I pay for filming, does that mean I don't have to use a condom? Because in your porn, you don't use a condom. No, it's still a booking. You are not a porn star, okay? You still need to use a condom. I think that is a very weird way to think about it, but we're just gonna include that in here in case anyone was wondering. So right now, when I'm filming this YouTube video for you, I have a massive, big, super high quality ring light, and I have my phone set up on the stand. I'm looking at you right now while I explain it to you. This is normally what I will use to film, okay? I will normally have this set up in the corner of the room. I will put their phone on, I will press play, and we will just go about the booking like normal. Sometimes we will have to move a position a little bit because they want a close-up of this or they want that included, and that's perfectly fine. But I do want to stress that it is a whole nother layer to the booking having the filming involved, okay? Firstly, when you watch porn, it looks like it's all flowing very smoothly and it ends up being this great tape, and you know, it was so fun for these people participating in the porn, right? The reality behind the camera is that in order to produce that piece of content where every angle was so good and so clear and everything, you know, all the angles change, right? That's because all the equipment is getting moved in the middle of the sex, okay? And that, in the reality of it, when you're actually experiencing that firsthand, disrupts the flow of the booking, disrupts the flow of the sex. It's stop and start, stop and start, stop and start. And that's why porn actually does not feel real at all when you're producing it, okay? In order to stop that from being the reality for the client, because I don't think any of them want to stop and start and stop and start. If they want to, that's perfectly fine. Majority of them still want the experience to feel fun for them. They don't want it to feel like work. So essentially you'll sort of just leave the camera running and just go about the booking as per usual, obviously here and there adjusting angles of my body normally to try to get a better view if possible. What also comes with this is a lot of pressure on you as the client, because you have double the level of pressure to perform because you've now paid for filming. Now all of this is on tape. And if you're having issues down there regarding nerves, ED, that kind of thing, now it's on tape, okay? And fair enough, only you have the tape. I don't have a copy of it, and I'm certainly not judging you. I see this stuff all the time. You can get a lot more in your head when you're filming as opposed to just a normal booking. And it still happens in normal bookings. People are nervous. That's a very normal part of seeing an escort, okay? 90% of the guys that I see are nervous, very nervous, a lot of them. If you're also adding on the layer of filming it and having to perform, you are going to be 2, 3, 4 times as nervous. And unfortunately, I do see this happen quite often with clients that I see. They want to film. They don't know when I'm going to be back in their location because I'm touring. They want to film it. They want that memento. They want to be able to look back on that tape and be like, yeah, I fucked Lillith Lodge. Like, how cool. Awesome. And I want the money too. I want to be paid the extra for filming. It's an additional $800 and it's not a lot of extra work for me, okay? I want the extra, okay? As a business person, I want to upsell the extra. But ethically, I do feel wrong about not expressing how much stress that can put on you as a client, okay? My suggestion is with filming is that you leave the filming alone for the first time you meet the provider, okay? You meet them and you just have the experience. For a lot of them, it's the first time they're ever seeing an escort too. Have that experience, meet me, see what I'm like in person. Just allow yourself to enjoy it. And for a second or third meet, do your filming, because at least one layer of those nerves is going to be gone because you've already met me. It's a lot more likely for it to get where you're trying to go, you know, for everything down there to work, all right? Oh my gosh, Tommy in the back of the video. As much as I would love the extra $800, I really would. I know that it is a lot harder for the client when they're doing that on a first meet. And if you are hella confident and you really don't think it's going to be an issue, absolutely book it. But if there is part of you that's nervous about the booking already, I don't think you should also be filming it on your first one. Now let's talk a little bit about my procedures with the filming in terms of knowing who you are. Now, if you've watched a few of my videos and content on TikTok or here, you probably know by this point that I don't require photo IDs unless it's a private residence. This does change if they are adding filming. And why, you might ask? Because if I find that content leaked somewhere, I need to know exactly who that client was so that I can start the legal proceedings to prosecute them for distributing my porn, okay, and have it removed from the internet. And also be able to seek financial compensation for the damages that are caused by that content being published. This is why I would require their photo ID, so I know exactly who they are in the event of this happening. A lot of clients are not comfortable with me having their photo ID for a lot of reasons, and I do actually feel quite compassionate about this, and I completely understand. So I would probably be open to maybe things like LinkedIn, where I could see your face, see exactly where you were working and your full name, that kind of thing. I would probably be quite open to that. But essentially, I need your real information, and I need to know it's real information in order to do the scene. Because I don't want somebody filming a scene with me and profiting off of that. And I also don't want somebody publishing a scene where something awkward happens. Like, I don't know, anything can happen in a scene, okay? Anything can happen on that footage. If I haven't had a chance to review it and then it's posted on the internet, it's a bit icky, it's a bit wrong, okay? And it is wrong in a court of law, okay? So yes, I hope that clarifies things. Please keep in mind there are a lot of providers who do not offer filming. If it's not on the services list, on their ad, do not ask them to film because they don't offer it. There is specifically an option on like Scarlet Blue, we can add that to our services. So if it's not on there, it's not allowed. And as I've said, some providers will not allow you to film their face or anything like that, and that is completely their right. For me, I don't really care. My content's already on OnlyFans. But yes, I hope this clarifies some things for anyone who maybe has wondered about filming, wondered how it works, been on the fence about doing it. I hope that clarifies everything. I'm sorry Tommy is so loud in the background, he's distracting me. So I hope I've said everything I needed to say, but yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and hope to film with you sometime soon.